Pirates franchise offseason is here. And of course, we missed the playoffs. This is the actual playoff bracket. We have the Astros taking on the Rays, Mariners taking on the Blue Jays. White Sox, of course, get that first round bye. And in the National League, we have the Cubs taking on the Braves, Mets and Brewers, with the Dodgers getting the first round bye. No Yankees in the postseason. We saw Garrett Cole, and they were kind of on the fringe, and Luis Severino. They didn't end up making it in. And as we can see here, Brian Reynolds has led the league in WAR. That's very cool. He had a great year. Hit 291. That was good for 8th best in the National League. And next up was Glaber hitting 270. For hits, Freddie Freeman led the league, but Brian Reynolds at 5. Glaber Torres at 11th. A lot of doubles for some of these guys. Brian Reynolds, of course, is the first guy that pops up for us. Wouldn't be surprised if Glaber was the next guy. A lot of Padres, but yeah, there's Glaber. Triples, Brian Reynolds had 11, nearly led the MLB, or led the National League. For homers, we can see that Fernando hit 49 of them. Reynolds had a great year with 41. Didn't really expect 40 home runs from him, but as you can see, his power is up across the board, plus 12 against lefties. Again, we'll go all over the numbers. Glaber finishes with 37. That's an incredible year. Franmil with 31 and wasn't even with us the entire time. He actually had, well, it doesn't show. Did he only have 31 home runs total? Is that right? I guess so. I mean, how does he hit 310 with only 97 hits? Didn't really have that many at-bats. Oh, something I think is weird there. Although for our team, sorting now by games played, although we'll sort by OPS overall, Brian Reynolds, 893. I mean, he was great. 18 stolen bases as well. Why is his career stats? That's not what I want. All right, there we go. Franmil with a 1062 OPS. I mean, this is a crazy stat line. Reynolds had 41 home runs, hitting 291. 37 for Glaber, hitting 270. Slugging over 500, 835 OPS. It's a great year. Michael Perez hit 264 for us. Pretty good season. Anthony Alford, I thought, was fairly impressive for what I expected. Ben Gamel shouldn't be playing for us, but better than I expected. But we need a whole lot more from Ke'Bryan Hayes. His contact left was up to 90. Now it's down to 87. So that actually is not great. Fielding, he's great, but we need a bat in the order. I think that's it. And the team called up Joshua Baez. He was bad. Henry Davis, I don't think got a chance. And Nick Gonzalez, I'd like to see a little bit more from as well. But overall, it wasn't horrible, I guess. I thought we would have been a little bit worse. And then for pitchers, like, what can you say here? For the guys that really got chances, Zach Thompson, I thought, was very solid. Huascar Ynoa, I thought, was really, really solid. Jose Suarez was decent out of the pen, was our lone all-star. Actually, no, Brian Reynolds was an all-star as well, obviously. JT Brubaker was not terrible. Bednar's got to be better as our closer, no question about it. Jorge Alcala, I expected a little bit more from. And some of these pitchers were an absolute disaster. But we'll simulate to the offseason, and the Rays have beat the Mets in the World Series. Oh my goodness. Retired players, we had a few. Cam Aldred, who actually pitched fairly well in the minors when we did that episode. Chase DeYoung as well, don't know him. Steven Ridings retiring because of ability is kind of hilarious to me. I feel like he's going to be very, very good when healthy for the Yankees. Nobody makes the Hall of Fame. And as you can see, our exclusive free agents are not exactly the best of players. Ben Gamel, Jose Quintana, Heath Hembry. I'm not really interested in any of these guys, to be honest, so it'd only be maybe Ben Gamel, who is just a singles machine. He was okay, but I'm not really interested in giving him anything close to what he wants. I'd give him like $6 million over 3. Now, we do need to hire some new coaches. I mean, our team is just so horrible. And it starts with the coaches, I think. Derek Shelton, we are going to fire. And I will offer Dave Roberts a contract. Also offering Rick Kelly and Dan Little for hitting and pitching coach. High hopes for them. Joe Mahalo, I don't love. I don't really see a problem with Michael Cohen or Quentin Sanders, though. But, yeah, we're going to go ahead and probably just keep Mahalo for now. Rick Kelly's our new pitching coach, and Dan Little's our new hitting coach. Dave Roberts, is going to be going to the Phillies. So we need a manager. I'm actually really happy with our pitching and hitting coach here, paying them pretty well. But now it's about getting a new manager. It's not going to be Tony La Russa probably, but it could be. +3 contact from David Smith is pretty intriguing to me, so I'd like to offer him a deal. All right, we got to add some players to our 40-man. I guess the only one I'm really interested in here is keeping Bubba Chandler for sure. The rest, I'm not really bothered. Abraham Gutierrez maybe as well. And the last one I think will be Diego Castillo. I don't know how many guys I have on my 40-man right now. I wish there was a way to easily check. There probably is. I wish that would add up for me, but I got to do 24 plus 13 is 37 plus 2 is 39. So I have one spot. We'll add Cole Tucker, and that's it. Oh, also, it says 40 total on the bottom right. I'm noticing that now. Let's go ahead and offer salary arbitration. If you guys don't know about arbitration, it's basically, well, I mean, I guess it gives us a description here, so I'll just read that. If a club and player cannot agree on a new contract, each side can submit a salary figure to arbitrators. So those are people who decide. Post submissions are reviewed, and a decision is made during hearings in February during the winter meetings. So a lot of these guys are arbitration eligible, which is a window during their service time. That's the way baseball works. But also, there are guys with renewable contracts. These players are under team control because they don't qualify for arbitration yet. It's usually younger guys. It's guys who are just coming up to the majors. If these players are not tendered or offered a contract by December 2nd, they will become free agents. If a contract renewable player decides to decline your offer, you can still renew their contract for no less than 80% of their previous salary. But a lot of these guys I do want to extend. So we'll offer O'Neal Cruz a 2-year deal. This is a reasonable deal for Ke'Bryan Hayes. He doesn't really hit, but I think that's a pretty cheap contract. Zach Thompson's been great, so we're going to go ahead and give him some type of a deal. This is very, very, very cheap, so I have no problem with that whatsoever. David Bednar wants some money for being not so good, so I'm going to give him a 3-year deal, and he's going to love that. But here's the thing with Bednar is might end up trading him. All right, offered a contract to everybody. We got to fill out the farm system anyway. And then for the arbitration eligible guys, I do want to make some type of agreement with Brian Reynolds. I'll give him a player option, 5-year deal. And I'm going to want to front load this because we're not going to be paying all that many guys a big contract right now, which means I'd rather get the money up front and then be able to have a little bit more wiggle room later when we're going to be a little bit more competitive. And I'm probably going to try and structure similar deals with a lot of different guys. Noah doesn't want a 3-year deal. All right, 2 years, 6 it is. It's pretty good for me. I'm offering a lot of contracts. Glaber on a 5-year deal I think is going to be excellent. Franmil had a huge, huge role. He's going to be an everyday player for me. No question about it. Anthony Alford's a bit of an interesting one. Yeah, I think his role is going to be a platoon player. And then for some of these other guys, I'm just going to offer arbitration. Kevin Newman, actually, I want nothing to do with. Chris Stratton, what did you do this past season? Oh, you were horrible. I mean, I can't give him this amount of money, and so we just are not going to have him. Vogelback just didn't hit for nearly enough power. Not really interested in him. Michael Perez had a great year. Definitely want to bring him back. All right, and arbitration has been offered or contracts have been offered to these guys. So I'm pretty excited about where we are. And in free agency, okay. Aaron Judge, a pretty good player. Can play anywhere in the outfield. And he's been very, very consistent. Had a really good 2022 as well. Definitely someone I'd be interested in. Trey Turner is here. Max Muncy's here. That'd be a really good pickup at first base. How's he hitting? Hit 270, slugged 560. That's a great year. Roberto Perez is back in free agency. He did not have a good season. Sevy's here. A lot of these guys qualified or had a qualifying offer made. But it's just a question of how big do we want to go here? And with Aaron Judge, we'd be going very big. Dude, 6'7", 282. And I think we're going to offer Max Muncy I'd like to do a 3-year contract, but we're competing against the Dodgers. It's going to be pretty tough. But we are going to offer Max Muncy a contract. He's just a great player now. And I would be super excited to add this bat to the lineup just for a few seasons. Need to get better on the mound. How is Sean Manaea? Not amazing. Sevy also wasn't amazing. Chris Bassett's kind of interesting. He's not going to be expensive. and he would be an immediate piece in our rotation. I think that's going to be really nice to get him potentially. Could bring Chad Kuhl back. He was actually quite good with the Rockies. Let's go ahead and offer Chad Kuhl. It's going to be 3.3 over 3, and we're planning on him being in the rotation. I think that's great. Also, offering on a guy like Sevy is so tempting to me. He's one of my favorite players in baseball. What is our starting pitching looking like? Zach Thompson, Huascar Ynoa, Contreras maybe. And then it's kind of up for grabs a bit. I am going to offer Sevy a contract. Why not? 62 over 5. It's a better offer than the Yankees, and I think one I'm pretty comfortable making. 3 pitchers. Chad Kuhl could end up going to the bullpen. Chris Bassett, Sevy, Max Muncy. I think that's pretty good. We'll simulate 10 days. David Smith is our new manager. Aaron Nola is headed to the Angels. They get a little bit of pitching help. Aaron Judge to Detroit. Wow, 33.8 annually, 270 overall. Huge contract. Chris Bassett is going to the Mets. I'm going to go ahead and stop simulating. Max Muncy still deciding. Starting pitchers. Market's heating up a bit for Luis Severino. We might change that offer a bit. Where's Chad Kuhl? He should end up being a Pirate. We're going to amp up the money and give him a player option. 69 mil overall. That's a pretty big contract, but this is obviously a huge piece if we get him, so it's got to be done. Shane Green also had a great year. He's someone I would love to add for maybe 2 years. And wow, Keone Kalo was shut down in 2022. Someone I'm also willing to offer. I don't want it to be this big of a contract, though. Something more like this, I think, is good. Chad Green was also a workhorse, and no one's offering him. We'll also offer Chad Green a deal. For the guys that nobody's offering, I mean, like, why not give them a deal? Alex Colomé is a little bit older, but he's coming off a fantastic season. 54 innings, pitching in Coors as well. He's someone I'm interested in for sure. Chad Green's no longer interested in our offer. Let's check that out. Well, he got a lot of other offers, is why. All right, we're going to give Kayla a little bit more money. Try and sweeten that a bit. Edwin Diaz headed to the Rangers. Well, that's not really even that big of a deal, all things considered. 5 years, 79 mil. It's like it's decent, but if he can be a closer, if he can be your shutdown guy, that's certainly worth it. Also, I guess I didn't offer him arbitration, Anthony Alford, so I'll offer that. Okay, so here's where we are. And Wilson Contreras would actually be a huge pickup as well, but we don't really need him. As you can see, Max Muncy's still out here. I don't see Luis Severino. I got no mention of us signing him. All right, let's see free agency. The Pirates have signed Shane Green. There we go. 2 years, 6.7. That's a good pickup to our bullpen. Tyler Duffy goes to the Giants, and the Pirates have signed Luis Severino to a 5-year, $69 million contract. I think that's a great pickup. Tyler Naquin to the Rangers. Red Sox got Michael Lorenzen. Looking out for any big name. White Sox, Will Myers on a 1-year deal. Wilmer Flores to the Yankees. So is Chad Kuhl still out here? He is. Why have you not signed Chad Kuhl? And it's not make or break if we don't get Max Muncy. But at the same time, give him a player option. I changed that offer a little bit. Took away some money. We're still on top. It's not make or break if we don't get him, but also I would like to get him. We have 42 players on our 40-man. We just fixed that. Max Muncy is still not decided, and Chad Kuhl is still not decided. Max Muncy's no longer interested in our offer. We're going to go ahead and stop that simulation. Well, and he's signed with the White Sox out of nowhere. 4 years, 68.8 mil. All right. So first base still a problem, and there are some good free agents still available. Now, I'm wondering if Jose Abreu wouldn't be the worst option. Hit fairly well in 2022. 31 homers, 850 OPS. That's actually a great season. Jose Abreu, despite being old, 36 years old, if we got him, I don't know that he's going to be a star for us, but that's a great season. If we get him on like a 1-year deal, I would be okay with that. Now, you know what? Okay, I can see two. He could be a starting first baseman. And we'll try to beat out the White Sox. A lot cheaper than Max Muncy, too. And the production, you could argue, is going to be fairly similar. Wilson Contreras heads to the White Sox. I guess they don't have enough catchers there. Sick of Yasmani Grandal. Chad Kuhl, Jose Abreu, Bengal still pending. But hoping to add some of those guys. I mean, it looks like we're going to be simulating. And we can't afford Jose Abreu. All right, we're going to go ahead and stop that. So I guess it means we signed somebody. Kershaw goes to the Cubs. And did we get Chad Kuhl? We did get Chad Kuhl. I think that's a pretty great acquisition. Now the question becomes, where is all of our money going? So he's getting paid a lot here. I mean, I'm comfortable with a lot of these deals. Oh, we got Alex Colomé as well. So not having a first baseman is a legit issue. But Henry Davis, I plan on being the big league catcher. Okay, we know that. And Michael Perez. First base, we could do a couple different things, okay? We could have Gleyber Torres slide over to first. He's 6'1". He's not like a first baseman, right? But if somebody's got to do it, Gleyber could do it. Or I could do what somebody recommended in the comment section, which is think about moving O'Neal Cruz to the outfield. Yes, you know, some people don't like that, but he's so big. I don't know if he's really going to be able to stick at shortstop. He could. He definitely could, but he might be better in the outfield. I know it's not a secondary position, but it is in real life, so I could just add it. And Franmil Reyes, who's so big, 6'5", 267, isn't exactly the best outfielder in the world. We could move him to first base and probably be really happy with his production at that spot. And I think that's probably what we end up doing. Also, Carlos Salazar is a young player. We drafted him, and he does have first base. Now, he's 5'7", 182. He's not a first baseman, but he does have first base. He's a left fielder, realistically, with that fielding and arm. He's also only 18 years old, but the bat is MLB ready. The fielding is not close. In center field, nobody, but Frank Reedy was our draft pick. And defensively, he's already okay. The bat's pretty good. 21 years old, a little bit older than Salazar, but also a really good-looking prospect. And the catchers we drafted, I'm super excited about. John Champion has a big-time arm, good behind the plate already, and has big-time power as well. He could end up being a very, very good player, and he's only 19 years old. We also drafted Jack O'Donnell, who is pretty good defensively, has some good power as well. So there's a lot to be excited about with him too. Andreas Ramos was another draft pick, I believe, right? Want to say he was. 3-pitch mix. He's going to be in the bullpen. Roberto Garcia we also drafted. High hopes for him. Lefty with 5 pitches. Doesn't throw overwhelmingly hard, but has a lot of different pitches. Good hit per 9 already. Only 19 years old. Very excited about him. So you know what? We don't need Jose Abreu. We're going to work out first base one way or another. Let's go to winter meetings. And we'll withdraw our offer from Bengal. Just don't need him. Unless I give him $2 million a year. But we'll simulate to the Rule 5 draft. If you guys don't know what this is, basically, if you do not have a player on your 40-man, they're eligible to be drafted in the Rule 5 draft. Now, in order to draft someone, you have to have less than 40, and we have 38. Who is not on our 40-man that needs to be? I'm not sure. I wish there was a non-40-man roster. Like, do we have to add in Carlos Salazar? I forget what the exact... I don't think so. I think it's, you know, guys that you haven't drafted yet. So we're going to go ahead and go to the draft. We're at 4th. And we can see John Curtis, Ronald Torres, Toe, Jose Peraza are the first 3 off the board. Very bad. Usually there are not a ton of picks here. But I'm thinking, and you got to leave this player on your 40-man the entire year. So some of them are going to be like actual legit prospects in here, which I don't think is cool because like they shouldn't be here. Like Cade Cavalli should not be here. We could take advantage of that. Miggy's in here. He is just... I mean, he actually wasn't that bad in 2022, but he's getting a lot worse. He's 39. I'm thinking maybe we could get some type of help at first base here, but the best player is Miggy by a lot. Although Vinny Pasquantino is actually developing pretty nicely. I'm going to go ahead and pass. I think it's kind of cheesy to sign top prospects or draft top prospects in the Rule 5 draft. So I'm going to avoid that. Joey Gallo to the Mariners. Sandy Alcantara is headed to the Twins. Jordan Balazovic and Alex Kirilloff in return. I don't love it for the Marlins there. Sandy Alcantara is just too good. JD Martinez back to the Diamondbacks, former D-back. Okay, trade talks. I'm thinking about making a move. Salazar should have a ton of value. Does he have more value than Franmil Reyes? I believe he does. We're not going to move him, of course. These guys are B potential, but I think on the brink of A, if I recall. I think you can check that when you go to edit player, but I'm not sure. So hopefully those guys get upgraded to A at some point. That is the thing that happens. But I'm looking to acquire somebody that can start at first base. Nick Gonzalez not going to move. Glaber, obviously not. But Van Meter could. He got actually way too much value. And I should probably trade one of these catchers. But like the problem is none of them are going to have value. I can't have all these catchers. Davis and Perez at the MLB level. Gutierrez, maybe. I like him, and we saw him be good at the minor league level. I don't really want to move him. Champion is going to be double or triple A. And Jack O'Donnell is going to be double A, maybe. So, Endy Rodriguez, to me, is kind of the odd man out. I like him, but maybe not. Maybe I sell high on Abraham Gutierrez. I can't. It's got to be Endy Rodriguez. I like Endy Rodriguez. He's only 22. Nah, I don't know. He's going to be Abraham Gutierrez. I've seen it, but you know what? He's going to have good value. Champion, O'Donnell, Endy Rodriguez in the minors. I'm happy with that. Delay is not going to play. And I'll see if I can acquire a major league ready first baseman. I also might need to unload a contract in order to get this done. I'm paying my bullpen quite a bit, although my starters for right now are very, very cheap. It might have to be David Bednar on the move. Just was not good enough in 2022. I like him, but he just needs to be better, and that's kind of where I can shed some salary. Colomé was just too good. Getting rid of Bednar feels like a mistake, though. I'm not going to do that. I'll get rid of Steven Brault. Gavin Sheets is someone that would definitely be on my radar. Kills right-handers. Is definitely young. Gavin Sheets might have to be the one. Miguel Sano was decent in 2022. Miguel Sano is someone who I'll definitely consider as well. Could get Ryan Mountcastle. Don't love him. We could get Jared Walsh. I don't want to make a trade too unrealistic. And Jared Walsh, I think, is pretty unrealistic. Very, very, very good. I'm liking Gavin Sheets right now. Here's Russell Higgins. This was the guy I think I thought about drafting, but couldn't end up getting him. Only 18 years old. Definitely a lot of potential here. Luke Voigt is also a decent option, but I think we should play for the future, and that is Gavin Sheets. So let's go ahead and make the move. Gavin Sheets, newest Pittsburgh Pirate. Of course, you guys saw who we moved, and we freed up some spots at catcher. Abraham, I mean, we saw that he could hit. I didn't really want to lose him, but you know, we had to make a move, and I think we made a really good one to get Gavin Sheets. Can play first base. Yes, we talked about moving Franmil, but I think getting Gavin Sheets is probably even better for us in terms of team construction, so I'm very happy with that. The big problem right now is just too many middle infielders. Too many infielders, really. I think O'Neal Cruz, I just think his best spot for me is going to be in the outfield. Key Bryan's going to stay at third, obviously. And then Glaber at second or short. Nick Gonzalez at second or short. We could platoon Reyes and Gavin Sheets. Franmil against lefties will play first base, and Sheets will not hit against lefties. And when we have righties, Sheets at first base, Reyes at right field. Oh, I like that a lot, actually. So, against right-handers, Gavin Sheets gets the start at first, and Franmil plays right field. Against left-handers, Gavin Sheets will not play. Reyes in right. We do have a DH spot, too. But Reyes in right. Glaber can DH. O'Neal Cruz could play the outfield. Gavin Sheets could just play near the bottom of the lineup, too. That's also an option. I always forget with the universal DH now, we have a little bit more options. Okay, we have made it to spring training, and I'm pretty happy with where the team is. We acquired Luis Severino, second highest rated player on our roster now. We went out and we acquired Shane Green for our bullpen, who had a great year last year. Sub-3 ERA. Zach Thompson returns, of course. We brought back Keone Kela, former Pirate, and someone I'm excited to get back, and hopefully he ends up doing what he did in 2022 with Arizona, where he was pretty much lights out. Alex Colomé returns, or not returns, but joins the Pirates, sub-3 ERA as well last year. And we went out, we traded for Gavin Sheets. I think this team could be surprising. Chad Kuhl also is back in Pittsburgh, and he was very, very good last year in Colorado, no less, in over 100 innings. So I have high hopes. Obviously, I'm sure that some of these are not going to end up working out for us. I think that goes without saying. But some of these guys are, I think, going to surprise us and be very, very good. So I'm super excited about it. I think Henry Davis is primarily going to bat last for us. I'm not sure if he's going to be ready to play at the majors, but we're going to see what he does in spring training. That's pretty much going to decide it. Against lefties, or excuse me, against righties, I want Gavin Sheets as a power hitting lefty as high in the order as possible. So I'm hitting him in that 2 spot. Hope he's going to be great. Reynolds, of course, is our leadoff. Franmil, O'Neal Cruz in the cleanup spot. Eventually, I want him to be the 2-hitter, but based off of what he showed in 2022, that's just not possible. Glaber's a beast. I think the 5 spot is okay against right-handers. He's good, but not great. And then against lefties, he, of course, is going to be certainly a little bit higher. Probably go Hayes in the cleanup spot. So my idea with Franmil, I think, is fine, but I don't know that we have to do that with the DH. Move Nick Gonzalez there for now, but I do want him playing the field, so I'm kind of in a tough spot. His fielding is not great now, but I want it to get better, so I want to play him. So against lefties with a DH is probably going to be Gleyber at short. Anthony Alford, who doesn't really hit lefties that well, he's in the DH spot for right now, but I'll probably pull him for somebody that hits lefties a little bit better. The problem is that really isn't a ton of players on this team. It might end up being Matt Frazier, probably Joshua Baez eventually. He's just not ready to go yet. Maybe even Diego Castillo. I think it's not bad at the back end. I'm going to add Carlos Salazar to the 40-man, and I'm going to add Frank Reedy to the 40-man as well. I could see John Champion eventually play first base for us. I think that could definitely happen. But he could also end up playing catcher, and Henry Davis could end up playing first base, or Gavin Sheets could end up being great. You know, a lot can happen. So I'm not going to commit to anything right now, but I thought about moving John Champion to the Major League lineup. I'm not going to do that right now. He's going to start, though, at Double-A. Andy Rodriguez at Triple-A. Jason DeLay is just bad. But I do want to see what Frank Reedy can do. So he's going to be up to the Major League team. And I do want to see what Carlos Salazar can do. So he's also going to be to the Major League team as well. It's spring training. Salazar looks really, really good. Can play a little bit of first base for us. And Frank Reedy also looks really, really good. And is obviously a bit more of an outfielder. Reedy's only 5'7", but I think defensively is what limits him to being a first baseman for us. But I need to see these guys play. I'm really, really excited about it. And maybe instead of Anthony Alford, we're going to see against righties, we might see a little Carlos Salazar. And against lefties, maybe a little Frank Reedy. But that's going to do it for the off-season episode. I think there's a lot to look forward to in the future. And the new acquisitions of Gavin Sheets. And if you count in the younger guys, Carlos Salazar and Frank Reedy. It's like we have a lot to look forward to. We really, really do. And on the mound, we have revamped our rotation with Luis Severino. Got to throw him in there. And adding Chad Kuhl should be very good. Now, I'm considering starting Rowanzi at AAA and rocking out with JT Brubaker, who was quite good last year. Because, geez, dude. He was not great last season. 6.67 ERA in 58 innings. Not good. Not good. Is he getting better? I don't know. It doesn't show from the previous year, but those numbers don't look terrible. He's got to be better in 2023, so I'm hoping he will be. But Severino's our ace. Thompson, followed up from Inoa, Chad Kuhl, Rowanzi. That could be it, with maybe Contreras swap for JT Brubaker was pretty good last year. But other than that, I like the bullpen. I think we're going to end up being pretty good. So thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.